Looks like we're almost ready to start. We're just waiting on Sophia. While we wait, how's everybody been doing?
I still can't get used to having our small groups over Zoom.
Just glad we don't have to wear masks.
I've noticed something different. I find myself getting excited about things I used to take for granted. Something ordinary feels thrilling. Orda thrilling, maybe? I mean, like this meeting. I'm not wild about having it over Zoom, but it's really amazing to see all of you.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see your faces.
Hey, Sophia.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Yeah, we were just sharing about how we're coping through the pandemic.
And Derek was just telling us about Ordai thrilling moments. I think I've had those too.
Yeah, it's like I'm seeing things differently.
It's actually along the lines of what we'll be talking about today. Do you mind if we dive right in?
No, let's get started.
So as I shared with you earlier when I sent out the readings this week, today is Pentecost. It's an important but lesser known holiday in the church. After Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, the disciples must have been scared or at least very confused. Would they be the next people arrested? Would they be tried and perhaps even executed? So on this day, they got back together. I'm hearing the opening words of the story very differently this year than I have in years past. Would someone like to read Acts chapter 2, verse 1?
I've got it. When Pentecost Day arrived, they were all together in one place.
That makes it sound like Pentecost was already a holiday.
It was definitely a popular celebration. People came to Jerusalem from all over the world to commemorate the giving of the Torah.
So there's this celebration and everybody's getting together. Anybody think that was just a big excuse to gather?
Hey, like us, they probably just wanted to get back to normal after being home so long.
I keep hearing people say back to normal, but what's normal? You can't go through something like a global pandemic and expect everything to go back to the way things were before, as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah, these weeks of social distancing have reminded me of how we have connected. We've connected to one another. We miss being together.
And I think that's one of the themes of this story that I'm really feeling this year, and maybe you are too. Being together, being in one place. The story starts when the disciples were all together in one place. And then something extraordinary happened.
I know this part. There was wind and then there was fire.
Looks like someone remembered we were talking about Pentecost tonight and maybe right ahead.
Hold on for a sec. Can we talk about this? I always struggle with the Holy Spirit thing.
Yeah, Alan, I'm so glad you said that. Me too.
Well, I like to think about the Holy Spirit as the presence of God among us every day.
Diane, that's really good to hear. During these past few weeks, I've been alone. I've been pretty alone, actually. I mean, it is just me and my dog. And except for these online chats, I've had very little human contact.
And it's like a different kind of lonely. I imagine what a deserted island might feel like.
Derek, are we talking like talking to Wilson the volleyball kind of lonely or to Winston the Chihuahua kind of lonely?
I haven't been talking to a volleyball, but to Winston, yeah.
Jesus actually addresses these very feelings of loneliness that we're probably experiencing. In the Gospel of John, for example, after telling the disciples that he wouldn't be with them for much longer, he comforts them and says, "I will ask the Father, and he will send another companion who will be with you forever."
Wow. It's comforting to know that it's not just me and Winston. The Holy Spirit's here too.
What does that mean then for the wind and for the fire?
Well, thankfully, there hasn't been fire here.
Well, if you keep reading this chapter, I got into it this afternoon, it ends with 3,000 people being baptized. As they became the church, it says they worshiped together, studied together, ate together, and took care of one another.
Yes, isn't that a beautiful image?
That
At
is.
Pentecost, we remember that the Holy Spirit is our companion when we're apart and encourages us to be there together for one another, to be the church.
Julie, you did say that they ate together, right?
Yeah, I did.
Well, did everybody remember to bring their snacks to the call?
Oh,
I got enough to share.
So friends, what order thrilling moments have you had this week?
Well, we could say my graduation this May wasn't what I was expecting.